Welcome to the Assembly Line podcast, the place where industrial businesses come to tell their story and give you the tools you need to become an authority within your industry. Today, I'm so excited to be joined by Daniel Clark, Head of Marketing at Stonegate Tooling. Daniel is a marketing expert and specialist within the tooling industry. With Stonegate Tooling being a leading name within the sector, they've cleverly positioned themselves as a true authority within the industry. As a business, they use their expertise to provide exceptional levels of support and guidance both to new and existing customers. It's our pleasure to be joined by Daniel on the Assembly Line podcast. Daniel, welcome. How is it going?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, very good. Thank you for having me on.
Fantastic. And again, it's so great to be joined by you. It almost feels like we've done this once before. So Daniel, I'd really like to understand a bit more about your personal journey into the tooling industry and what drew you into the industrial sector as a whole.
So marketing wise, I've had quite a varied career. Starting kind of working in freelancing, mainly sort of copywriting, things like that, for a variety of different clients. And then I moved into an in-house role, doing B2C finance, which is, marketing's interesting. That's all great. It was after that I started to move into the construction industry. And it's been a slow, steady progression to where I'm at now, where I really feel comfortable, and where I feel like there's a lot of value in what we're selling and what we do. Because it's real, it's kind of a visceral product. There's a lot more of a challenge to it, in terms of how we go out and we reach our audience and the channels that they use. And there's also a lot of learning there that you wouldn't get in kind of financial services, sort of real life learning that you learn along the way, but also learning that's going to help inform you to become a better business and market better and provide better solutions for your customers.
Yeah, that's certainly very interesting hearing your story from starting out as a freelancer and where you kind of are today. It'd be great to hear a bit more about Stonegate Precision Tooling. So can you tell us a little bit about the company itself and its core mission?
So Stonegate has been around in one form or another since 1985, providing various forms of tooling. In around about the early noughties, we moved into diamond tooling, which is particularly necessary for cutting stone. This is when our real journey began as a business. This is when we started absorbing all of the knowledge that we can. We started employing people who'd worked within the industry, within tiling and within stone, who had experience in fabrication, so we could really understand the products. There's a load of variables in terms of the different materials that you're cutting, from granite and quartz all the way through to what they call UCS materials like Decton and Neolith and things like that, laminum. And there's a huge market for it in the UK. So in order to cut and profile this stone for the kitchen or for cladding or for fireplaces or anything like that, it takes a high level of skill. And previously it was pure artisanry. You would have a craftsman who would do it with manual tools. The sheer demand in the UK, the size of the UK and the growing kitchen market means that more and more fabricators were looking for solutions beyond that. So, you get the rise of CNC machines, bridge saws, and things like that. So we were really on the cusp of that wave and growth, and understanding the tooling as it moved from something more of a traditional, as I say, artisan craft to much more of a modern process. It's still very manual, still a lot of heavy lifting and hard days and hard work and skills on the tools needed. But as I say, CNC machines, you have CAD drawing templates and things like that. So it's about straddling that balance and providing the tooling solutions that people need now. But for us, it's also about looking to the future, because as within any industry, there are trends, things develop, people want improvements in certain areas that they didn't want them before, and there's always improvements to be made. So we work with our manufacturers, and we test and we trial, and we have a huge MPD process to be able to look at tooling and solutions that's going to help our customers grow and advance, because, you know, as they grow, we grow too. Their success is our success. So, so that's how we see ourselves, as providing innovative solutions going forward. So this doesn't just include tooling. This includes a range of other solutions that will help them work more efficiently and more safely as well. And that's of huge importance to us. As I say, the construction industry, it's so important to work safely, not just for the HSE, but for the well-being of your staff as well. So this is what we look to do. Anything that we can add to our portfolio of products that might help people work more safely, more comfortably, and more efficiently, then we will do. And we're happy to give them advice on all of these processes too.
Yeah, fantastic. It's really interesting, and it's clear, kind of, or it's starting to become clear for me how you're really positioning yourself in that area. I'd really like to understand more about how Stonegate differentiates itself within the tooling industry and what makes it stand out from the competition, because there are a lot of tool companies out there, both across the UK and internationally, and it feels like there's something slightly different with yourselves.
And we like to think so, yeah, definitely. And the other tooling companies that are out there provide very good products and a very good service, and they really know their stuff. It's important to say that. And for us, we like to think that we differentiate ourselves probably in two ways. Firstly is that we're quite a big company for our size and our turnover and for the market. So we have over 30 employees, and we have a technical team of 5 and a sales team of 7. So what this means is that we're able to send our sales and tech guys out to customers pretty much every day of the week. They'll be out visiting, they'll be out offering solutions and support, they'll be just dropping in and touching base, seeing how business is, seeing what new developments there are. You know, is there an increase in the demand for this edge profile on a particular kitchen worktop or something like that? And just really offering kind of an ear and a shoulder sometimes to our customers. And the tech guys, they'll be booked out and they'll go and offer kind of free support and advice on particular machines or tooling that any of our customers are struggling with. They can do this because they've got, you know, combined over 30 years worth of experience within stone fabrication. They're the best of the best. That's why we hired them. So when we send these guys out, they really know the machines, they really know the tools, and they're able to deliver quick, efficient solutions to the customers. So that's one arm of why we think that we offer a difference for our customers. And the other is how we look to approach what we offer. And I think I touched on this before when I said we have a huge NPD process. We're very focused on providing tooling solutions for the future, not just for now, but for the future. And so a lot of what we do when we send our team out is we gather feedback on what customers are struggling with, what challenges they're facing. You know, the stone manufacturers, they can often change the composition of the stone in manufacture, which changes how it cuts. And often this isn't fully communicated to the fabricators. So it might be a small marginal difference, but actually it's not cutting as well, or they have to redo a job which costs them thousands of pounds. So basically we need to be on our mettle. We need to be on the ball and listening to that feedback, taking it back into our MPD team, and then looking at solutions. How can we change that? Is it to do with a different segment height on a particular tool or something like that? And the difference that we have now is that in May of this year, we moved to our new premises, Stonegate House, which is 42,500 square foot, which is huge for anyone, particularly for a business of our size. But a large proportion of that we've used to create an innovation hub, which is a live functioning test workshop, which is just game changing for us because we can have people in, we can train them, we can show them the tools on the machine running at the optimum parameters. So we can, it's easy to send out an email saying, oh, we can cut this stone this fast and you can do this many kitchen sinks in a day or whatever. If we show them, that's when they're really wowed and their eyes are opened. Because, we put our money where our mouth is. We say the parameters, they're true. I'm not saying that other people don't, but it's great to be able to show them that. And we also use the Innovation Hub for testing, extensive testing. So we've got these guys who are geniuses in their little field, and they've got a little playground at the bottom of the building where they can just test the tools and go and go and go. And, they love it. But also we get the benefit of it as well. So we know absolutely how far we can push these tools, how good they are, or how bad they might be, and how we shouldn't be selling this tool. So we really feel like we're delivering to the UK market the exact tooling that they need, rather than just a selection provided to us by the manufacturers.
Absolutely. I think it's great that you kind of focus on those two dimensions of USPs. And to me, it kind of seems that it's, you're not just focusing on providing a service or giving a product to someone. You're really focusing on giving the value, the whole experience, which I think is fantastic. So let's look at the marketing positioning now, because for industrial businesses, I think that's quite critical. So how has Stonegate positioned itself within the tooling market? And why do you believe that this position in itself is critical for industrial businesses?
So we positioned ourselves as the experts in tooling, which sounds funny because we're not the guys on the tools all day. But, that the tools that they put on their machines is a fraction of what they do throughout the day. And they don't just work on one machine, they work on 4 machines. So, it would be like asking someone in marketing all the details of, Google Search Console or something like that. I know an overview. I don't know a detailed breakdown at all. When I want a detailed breakdown, I will engage an agency or an expert in that. So that's how we like to think of ourselves. We really we're the nerds. We get into the nitty-gritty of the diamond tooling solutions. We find out, we go and we speak to the manufacturers, we do extensive training with them, sit through seminars, we go out and we test, and we understand it, I like to think, like no other. And this isn't just the sales guys and the tech guys, this is everyone in the business, from customer service to the marketing team, to the finance guys, to the ops guys. Everyone understands what we're selling. We want everyone to be an expert in what we're doing, because that has to pervade the business. And this is a common tactic, but we really, really like to hammer it home. Occasionally we do kind of pop quizzes where, we'll all be involved and asking really technical questions on, adhesives or silicons or something like that. That's the way you learn that, and going out and meeting the customers. So that is how we like to position ourselves, as the experts, but also as a face. We're not an e-commerce shop. We do have an e-commerce shop, obviously, but we want people to identify with our team. They're great. They're good guys. They will go above and beyond. They work incredibly long hours. And often it's to go out and visit a customer, not to get a sales order, but literally just to hear their problem. So that's what we want to be, the experts who go the extra mile. We like to think, that we've got to be comfortable with getting uncomfortable. So at points that'll mean longer hours, going the extra mile, not getting the sale, but in the long term, it's worth it.
That was a really I think that's a really great summary there of how you've really positioned yourselves in the market. And I think, as you say, there are a lot of businesses that try and do it, but it's much more rare to find businesses that do it well and yield the results from that. So I'd be interested to hear from your perspective, and obviously we don't need to include any names or anything here, but are there any specific instances that you would look at and you'd be like, we got that result because of how we have positioned the business, how we've placed ourselves in the market, and how we've built relationships with customers in the way that we have? Like, are there any specific instances or moments that you really reflected on that and thought that's down to the positioning?
Yeah, I probably say, so we offer solutions as well as toolings. One of the solutions that we offer is a water filtration, water treatment system. I won't go into detail, but basically when you're fabricating stone, you use a lot of water, and a lot of workshops recycle this water. Well, pretty much all workshops recycle this water, because otherwise your water bills would, bankrupt you within months. The problem is that when you cut stone, you get a lot of dust and shards, and this turns to sludge with the water. So if you're recycling the water, you're then using dirty water, which doesn't cut as cleanly. So you're not getting the finish that you did, but you're also decreasing the lifespan of your tooling, and also it's not good for the environment. So there are a number of solutions that you can choose from, which have a fairly large investment depending on the size of the business. So we've partnered with an Italian company for a number of years now, who are seen as one of preeminent suppliers in their field globally. And we've spent years working with them, going out with them, training, understanding. And we fully, when we go and assess a workshop, we go with them, so that they're getting the customer is getting the full confidence that not only are they speaking with Stonegate, but they're speaking with the guys who created this thing. And the price is not the cheapest on the market of the machine that we sell, but there has been a notable example of the customer having the option of cheaper solutions, but because we've gone out and we've attended with our Italian partners, and we've gone through the whole process with them. So we've talked through what the savings will be. We've taught them through how they can get finance. We've taught them through how they can reconfigure their workshop to best fit the machine in. And then we've been there throughout the entire process, which can take months and months to years, to field questions from them, to have difficult conversations with them about it, where you might have to say to them that they're not working as efficiently as they can be. And this is kind of, you don't go and tell an expert that they're doing something wrong kind of thing, but that's what we've had to do. And then we, just by being there and providing that support throughout has meant that when it's come to decision time, it has been our solution that they've chosen, because they have the confidence that after that's in place, they can come and ask us at any point, and we will come on site and have a look at the machine. And we've got a technical team who are becoming experts in that particular bit of machinery, who will come down and resolve any issue if needs be, or they could do it remotely, because this is the kind of level of knowledge that they have now. So these aren't cheap machines. It's a huge difference that we're able to do that with the service and support that we offer.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that that confidence is really important. And again, that's really great because it resonates through your values or kind of your positioning that you want to be seen as an expert. And that, from what I hear, just resonates throughout everything you do. So that's really, really important. If we take a look at marketing now, so in your experience as head of marketing, what tools or strategies, let's say, would you believe are really indispensable in the marketing world for industrial businesses?
Market research, without a shadow of a doubt. Ongoing market research and customer feedback, because things change, habits change. People move on from businesses, people retire, sons take over, people sell out, people split off into two separate businesses, and it can be easy to lose track of that, because 3 months in an office seems like a very short time. 3 months out when in a business growing or starting up or developing or closing down or something is not, it's not long at all. So I think you just have to stay abreast of that and utilize your CRM system. It's a battle at any business. Sales reps are very busy. They're driving. It's difficult to update the CRM. However, whatever processes you can get from your CRM provider that make that easier, there's kind of bolt-ons to CRM systems now that can record the phone calls and archive them on a cloud-based system, so you can go back and literally, because one word transcribed incorrectly onto the CRM log can change the whole meaning of a sales process. And this could be a 50 quid tool, or it could be a £90,000 solution. So I think, I can't speak highly enough of those two aspects of it. Go out, speak to the customers, but also log those conversations, get that information on record and refer to it and use that, because that will tell you what's going to happen in the future. That will tell you how trends are developing. Put some time aside, weekly, monthly, to go back and review your trends, identify those areas of opportunity, do your SWOT analysis every month, because you can get ahead of yourself. You can run all sorts of lead generation campaigns or retention campaigns or anything like that. What's the point if you're not understanding what the current challenges of the customers are?
Yeah, that's spot on. And I think that's something that Joe and I see all the time with businesses that we work with or start to work with at the beginning. They do so many things, but forget to actually note down anything that's happened from it, forget to actually take action on what the data shows, which is almost just doing the guesswork. So yeah, I think that's really good advice. What do you think about the digital side of things? So let's say social media, LinkedIn, what do you say is important for those channels?
It's quite a funny one in construction, because social media obviously is so pervasive in every area of our life, but it is ever so slightly behind in construction because of the nature of the industry. You're not able to sit down and browse or look at your phone or whatever in the way that kind of office-based workers are. So therefore, you really need to identify who you're looking to reach, and through what channels. Obviously, I mean, this is just social media 101, but I think about it in kind of terms of what we do is that LinkedIn would be business owners and decision makers. So we would be looking at kind of advertising to them about Stonegate and our positioning in the market and our value proposition and what the differentiator is for us, and possibly kind of like our capital expenditure items, the more expensive solutions that we offer, that are going to need definitely a nod from the big guy to get. Whereas something like Instagram, which is used a lot to show off finished projects, we like to show the finished projects our tools create, and also how our tools run. These guys they love they love their industry, they love their craft. So if you can get a blade running super quick, or if you can get a polish on an edge profile that literally looks like a mirror, they love it. They absolutely love it. So what's the tool that created that? Let's show them it and show them it in action. So let's get some videos from our innovation hub and post that. So it's kind of really keeping abreast of those two channels and reaching the relevant people on those channels when we can with the right information, if that makes sense.
Personally, I really love that. I love that approach, and I think there's two things there for me. The first thing is that you've got this almost like top-down approach, targeting board-level individuals who are making those larger purchasing decisions, and then maybe you've got that bottom-up approach where you're driving demand through the people that are actually on the tools every day. And I think that's so powerful. The second thing that we've touched upon there is visually being able to see the impact of what you do. Like we always talk to our customers about show, don't tell. You know, it's easy to say, it's easy to say to them that you can do X, Y, and Z, but when you've visually got that in front of you, there's no question about it, right? So what are some examples, just for the audience, about, I don't know, videos, photos, and I think you've already shared a couple, that you might use to show the end results? Is it sort of videos of the tools in action and then showing the finished result? Like what does that look like for yourselves in that show, don't tell mentality?
So, I mean, where we're at, 2023, everyone can become a video editing master, can't they now? I mean, you can even use Canva for it. Premiere Pro is very intuitive, things like that. There's a lot of clever edits and transitions that you can use. What I would say is, in our industry, our customers don't care about that. They don't care about clever edits. They want to see the tool running, how it's going to run in their workshop. So my advice would be, less is more. Strip back all the clever edits. You know, I mean, Instagram, you can add a ton on. If you can't see the tool and the cut happening, then what are you spending all your time editing for? Because it can be really time consuming. So strip it back. Less is more. Show the tool running at the actual speed. Get lots of shots of the finished cut. And then, you know, simply state the parameters, what it's done, and we invite people to come and see it for themselves. If you don't believe our video, come up to the Innovation Hub. We'll put you some lunch on. You'll have a lovely day. And we will show you it not only running at that speed, but probably quicker, to be honest, because it's on our own machine. So, yeah, I'd probably say less is more. Don't overcomplicate it, because it's effort versus reward, isn't it? And at the end of the day, businesses our size aren't going to get thousands and thousands of likes and hundreds of thousands of engagements. But if we get the right like and the right engagement, then we might get an order from it. So do it right and make it work, and don't get caught up in trying to be too clever with it.
Absolutely. I think that's a mistake that a lot of businesses do. Obviously, you do your homework, you know exactly what you're doing, but a lot of businesses just go in blind without thinking about their target audience, without thinking what content they need to be posting, what content actually matters. So that's really true. I think one thing that we can all agree on is how quickly marketing is changing, especially in the digital world. And we've talked a little bit about what role social media can have in that. But I would like to hear from your opinion. Is there anything you think will be very important in the years to come? And that doesn't need to be only social media. That can include emails. That can be anything surrounding digital. What do you think the future landscape holds?
Interesting question. The future landscape, I'd say, for marketing within industrial sector, more video, I think. As I say, it's easier and easier to do. More instructional video. I think that's what we want to look at. The questions that we get, that we send our sales reps out to do, we're not going to stop sending those sales reps out, but we want to less marketing fluff and more educational video. Let's tell them what the issues are. We want to use our website as a hub for all of that. So we've got a huge bank of videos already. We want to keep adding to that, and a huge bank of kind of content we call our knowledge hub. But we want it to be kind of a one-stop shop where, obviously, like your Screwfix app, you can go on, you can place your orders, you can get an order update, you can find kind of related products to that. You can add from previous orders, but you can also access all this informational material on the solutions that we offer. You can book in to come and visit the Innovation Hub, that kind of thing. So really making it so that the people who are working on the tools who don't sit at a laptop have access to all of that information through an app. So that's from our perspective. That's what we're trying to do. But I think that will be the case for marketing in the industrial sector going forward, is how can you get closer to the guys on the floor? So they're the guys, they might not make the decision, they might not sign off the invoice, but they're the guys who'll go to their boss and say, I need this tool, I need this machine. So how do you reach them? How do you understand that? So yes, we will continue growing our sales team, and we will continue going out and having boots on the ground constantly, because that is one of our core missions. But also it will be understanding that you can't see everyone every day, and they might not have the time to get away and give you a call. But if we've got all of that information at the tap of the button, then that's what we're attempting to do.
I think that's really interesting, and this idea of having a knowledge hub that can connect all of your team members, all of your team members to the guys on the ground, and be almost addressing those problems in real time. This is probably 3 marketers kind of geeking out now, but I always have this vision of you having on there underneath the video, like the tools used in this video with direct links to the e-commerce side of things, and there just being this super integrated approach where everything just happens in that one location. I think that's an incredible direction, and I'd agree that it would be a direction of travel for their overall market, and the types of things that we're just seeing kind of come in more and more. I'd be interested to hear from your perspective, and we're certainly coming towards the end now. What's some kind of marketing advice or insights that you would offer if you were to pick just 1 or 2 things? Some advice and insights to industrial businesses that are looking to almost catch up and then potentially even stay ahead of the curve when it comes to industrial marketing over the coming years. And I've got a feeling I know what the answer might be to this one.
Get out and see customers, get out and speak to them, see what they're doing, understand what they're making, understand what problems they're facing with it. What is the thing that's making them wince every Monday morning because they're like, man, I need to sort this out. Because you can sort it out, we can sort it out, we can provide a solution to them. But you're not going to know that sat behind your desk. So it is difficult. Everyone is busy, but nobody is that busy. So schedule your time around it, because this is a vital part of what you're doing, is understanding that.
Because I know that you have a specific almost expectation for your team members at Stonegate regarding seeing customers and going on site. So I'd be interested to hear a bit more about how you ensure that happens. Like, everyone in the professional workforce is busy, everyone has stuff to do, and I feel like sometimes businesses would think, oh, I need to sit behind my desk and address this 500 emails that I've got to reply to, rather than going out on site and leaving those in your inbox still. So what do you do to kind of continue that standard in visiting customers?
It's about the relevant leaders within the business prioritizing activities and projects. A lot of what could be focused on can be termed as hygiene projects, admin, sort of things that are kind of necessary for a business to continue functioning, but are they the focus right now? Or is it something that someone just likes to get their head into because it's a Monday morning and they're a bit tired after a long weekend? So it's about sitting down with the team, really structuring out the weeks ahead, as the various management team do at Stonegate, and making sure that we book that time in advance for the team to go out and to visit the customers. And that takes priority. And then everything else gets slotted in after that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that is the one thing that I think we don't see enough, is that boots on the ground, heading to site to really understand what is happening in the marketplace. And that goes for everyone: technical, sales, operations, leadership team. Like, no one is in a position in a business where they shouldn't at some point, even if it's once every half a year, once every quarter, they can just pop in for a few hours and understand what's happening, where tools are being used. I think that's, it's incredibly important. Right. So, I'd like to almost give you the floor now, Daniel, and just share exactly where people can find out more about Stonegate, the exciting things that you have going on, and anything else that you'd like to share for us to wrap up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're very active on our LinkedIn, Stonegate Tooling, and our Instagram, also Stonegate Tooling. So we've got a lot of developments on there. We publicise them on there, but we also talk about who we are as a business, the individuals. So we're not just this corporate entity. We are just a bunch of tool nerds, stone nerds. So yeah, come and check us out and laugh at how geeky we are. And also exciting news: towards the end of this year, we'll be launching the new website that I spoke about, that will have all of these additional functions that are really going to, transform our customer journey and take it to the next level. And there'll be a bank of really exciting videos, images, and informational content. If you're into stone fabrication, please visit it and check it out. But we'd love people's opinion on the new look site and how it works. We always welcome feedback.
Fantastic, amazing. I would encourage everyone to go and check that out. I personally follow the business pages, and it's great to see what you're doing. So it's been fantastic to have you on. Once again, appreciate you spending the time with us to share all things tooling and stone. And we look forward to following your journey for the months to come.
Yes, thank you very much. Thanks for having me on. Been a pleasure.
Thanks, Daniel.